Okay, okay. Hello, dear friends. Sorry. Michelle is back on the line with you, and I hope that you regularly watch my reviews. But I also understand that someone decided to get acquainted with my materials for the first time. To put it very briefly, I specialize in conducting a short analysis of stockbrokers, well, or of those companies that call themselves that. During the analysis of each broker, I try to determine the level of risk of fraud that an novice trader may face when deciding to start working with a project. Plus, of course, I periodically tell my subscribers about interesting historical cases related to frauds. Most often, these are worldwide stories that led to financial losses of millions of dollars. I also pay attention to the correct interpretation and application of various special financial terms. It is important for me that in no case do you become victims of scammers in order to achieve their goals can simply substitute concepts, as often happens in matters related to trading on international financial markets. Okay. Today's review I dedicate to one of the old fraudulent products that still continues to deceive people. We'll talk about the Fibonacci-trade broker. This is an arrogant, unscrupulous, and dangerous project which of course is not a broker. But I'll tell you about this in details in a few minutes. In the meantime, I want to ask you if you are suddenly faced with the actions of Fibonacci trade or have already suffered from them, be sure to contact me at the contacts listed in the description of this video. I'll definitely keep your anonymity, but at the same time I'll try to give simple recommendations observing which you'll get chances to protect your interests and return the stolen money. If you like my reviews, be sure to like and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Well, and now I think it's already time for me to move on to the detailed review of Fibonacci trade project. Let's go. Okay, yeah, that's it. As always, guys, I first suggest you. Okay, let's first suggest that you follow me to the central page of the project portal, because a lot of conclusions can be drawn based on even the most superficial and primary assessment. Yeah. As you can see, the resource of this broker, which I remind you again, absolutely is not a broker, is made in a minimalistic style. There is practically no useful or specific information here. Everywhere there are only general words behind which there is more or less nothing. Yeah. And in general, the website does not make the impression that white broker portals usually create. As I can see, there are no mention of financial news. Yeah, just a second. There are no mention of financial news. There are no fresh quotes of major trading instruments. There is no forum. There is no blog. Everything is done very primitively. I want to repeat once again that white broker never worked like this. Yeah. Even on the basis of the information that I have already voiced to you, it becomes clear that something is wrong here. The second point that bothers me very much in the Fibonacci trade project is just those trading tools that are available to traders. You should understand very well that, operation that you will perform here have nothing to do with classical trading on the stock exchange. The project openly says that it offers traders the opportunity to work with virtually one single trading instrument with contracts for difference in prices, which in professional environment are called CFDs. And this tool has a much higher level of risk than working with classic assets. The fact is that by trading stocks and securities, you actually become the owner, of the part of the company whose assets you acquire or sell. Given this fact, your potential income will consist of an increase in stock prices plus annual dividend payments on them. Working with CFDs has completely different principles. There is no transfer of ownership here. In fact, you are simply making a financial bet with a broker as to which direction the course of the instrument you have chosen will move. If you said that the rate will move up relatively to the starting point, and you were right, the broker will be obliged to pay you a reward. If you make a mistake, your money goes to the broker. Everything is very simple and dangerous at the same time. It is dangerous because such transactions are fraud, with a direct conflict of interests of the parties. That is, it is simply unprofitable for a broker if trader makes correct forecasts all the time. And the Fibonacci-trade project offers traders only such a scheme of cooperation and no other. Yeah. At the same time, what I can see here, the project is 100% anonymous. There is no information at all. Yeah. In fact, you and I have no way to even guess where the central office of these scammers is located. Maybe in Europe, or maybe in one of the many offshore zones. Nothing on the project's website says anything because, in my opinion, any address that could be indicated here would be fiction. After all, the broker doesn't tell anything at all about who is the founder of the project, nor the name of its managing team, guys, or something. Yes, and not a single word is said here about the license. It looks as if it is not required at all. Meanwhile, if we assume that a broker, although you and I know perfectly well that this is not a broker but a real scam, but if we assume that this broker would be registered on the territory of one of the countries of the European Union, he simply could not physically provide service to clients which, as it is loudly said here, hundreds or thousands of people without a license from one of the European financial regulators. Well, if there was a license, I assure you, it would be placed in the most prominent place of such a portal, poor in information as the Fibonacci-trade project is. Personally, I think that all the information on the portal is fake, from the beginning to the very end. So here my opinion will be generally very simple. I think that this project in principle doesn't exist as a legal entity. All that can be is an anonymous portal on the internet filled with the most vivid lies that could only come to the heads of the organizers of this farce. There is no organization with a name Fibonacci-trade, no physical office, no legal address, no license. There is nothing at all. Okay, my friends, I'm coming back to you just a second. Yes, that's it. Okay, so what I want to say as a conclusion, it is obvious to me that the Fibonacci-trade project is nothing but scammers who do not even try very hard to hide their essence. Just look at their poor and nameless portal. I don't recommend investing here to anyone. If you are interested and if you want me to prepare a review for you on a specific project, write me about it in the comments. I will be happy to prepare an interesting and honest review for you. That's all I wanted to tell you today, guys. I say goodbye to you until we meet again in my further materials. Ciao, guys.